What's going on, Dandy Crew? It's DandyDrew here, and we are back for another day of Catan. We have another chill video where you and I, we're going to sit down, we're going to play this game, we're going to have a good time, all good vibes, hanging out. In the third position, with this series, I really want to try just keep it chill. Really take all the negative energy that maybe you've had over the last day or the last week, throw it out the window, and enjoy this amazing game that we love to call Catan. All right. So what's going on with this board? First position takes the 9, 5, 10. Pretty solid. It is the best single brick spot. The 10, the 4, and the other 10. You do get the double wheat. Though I do think on this board, because the rarity of the ore, that the 9, 5, 10 is a very strong pick. Typically, one of the first things that you want to do in every Catan game is to look at all the resources and get a sense of what's rare, what's accessible, and then make an informed pick about what would be the best position or pick in terms of building a strategy. So, with the 9, 5, 10, we get the best 3 hex spot that includes an ore. We get one of the best wood spots, and we also get one of the best brick spots. And just looking at this board, we can see that we have multiple different outs. We can go 6, 4, 11. We can go 8, 4, 3, 9, 3, 11. So it's hard to say this is a bad pick. Now, we also have the advantage of going to a 3, 1 port. Okay, so now, what is Mr. Red going to do? I wonder if anybody's going to take the 6 ore at the top here. Obviously, it's the best ore, but being in the desert, not really favorable. But you never know. I've certainly been surprised in many of my Catan games. Though I think probably the best case for us here would be something like the 6, 4, 11, which gives us just a little bit more ore, gives us the best wheat. We get the best sheep, actually. And I think with that setup, we're probably winning. While we're here, I want to take a moment just to pause with you and maybe think about what are some of your goals for the week? What do you want to accomplish? What are the things that you want to get done in your life? I always find when I take a little bit of reflection and really think about where I'm at, things I want to do, I usually just come out a little bit better on the other side. So, Red, a very inspired pick, no doubt about it, 8-3. And the 8, 10, 3. So 3 numbers, 5 hexes. I would say this is a very risky strategy, though it might pay off. Okay, so now do we go 6, 4, 11 like we said, or do we go 6, 4, 3, get a little bit extra sheep and go to the sheep port? Also got to be careful. Does anybody ever take the 11, 4? The sheep is rare here. So we could certainly lose the 11-4 to 8-4. It's a very risky pick. I think for that reason, I'm just going to play it safe. As we can see, some of these players are very adventurous, and I don't think we want to take that risk. So we'll just go 6, 4, 11. And 8-4 is a potential target here, so let's point right. Potentially, the green player here could take 8-4. Gives them the wheat, that best sheep. But going on the coast, not a very attractive proposition. So what is green going to do here? And the player I'm very interested about is orange. Orange has taken a brick and 2 wheat spot. I'm not quite sure what they're going to do to kind of figure this one out. I guess they could go something like the 4, 5, 11. Not very exciting. Yeah, so maybe the 6, 4, 3 was just a little bit better for us. Ooh. Well, we have a race. And frankly, we probably don't beat... Sorry, I got a little bit excited there. You know, my inner Catan player can't help, but when I see something like this, you know, you have to get a little excited. But going on the 8, this is a very risky play. Though you have to admit, it looks like a lot of fun. Orange does have 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 13 pips of wheat. That's a lot of wheat. And if they do get the 8, 4, which they should eventually, it looks a little bit more reasonable. Usually my problem with these kind of setups is that they tend to be a little bit slow. So let's pop a development card. Knight is great. Typically, I would hold for a city, but the fact that we were at 6 cards and we do have a very high production setup got me just a tad bit worried. So I'd rather buy the dev, get a knight. Okay, now red rolls the 7. The 10's a very fair block, and he's probably going to hit green because they are in this race here. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, and here's the ore coming to play. Now we have to decide, where are we going to block? Okay, we've got wood. You know what? I'm going to do a little bit of a crazy block here, which is the 3. Oh, but the brick is a thing, huh? No, let's go to the 10. It's a fun block. I think we can steal from red here. He's got a little bit of everything for us. Sheep is great. And more wood. Well, we had a wood port. That'd be nice. So now the question is, do we buy the dev or do we risk it? I think in this stage where we do have a very clear advantage on development cards and we are at 7 cards, I'm actually pretty happy to buy dev here. Ideally, a Year of Plenty would be great. Road Builder would be awesome. Essentially, there's no bad dev. And Knights are great too, because ultimately our plan is to get army. Okay, now red's coming back to the 10. And because of the tension up here at the top, I really wonder if he's going to keep hitting green until this race is solidified. Okay, he gets the wood. I think that's a smart block and a smart steal. If he's tracking, which that was very smart from him, he needed the wood to get the road down. Okay, perfect. Though, I do think if orange is kind of wrapped up into this game, if they're paying attention, they probably should be blocking me because I'm in an extremely strong position. But, hey, I'm not going to stop him if that's what he wants to do. Okay, so we have a road here. Let's keep this simple. We're just going to go to our port. We don't have to complicate this. The port is very good for us. It helps double the 9. It picks up the 3-1 flexibility, which will do us a lot of wonders once we start dropping cities. I like it. I think a lot of players would go to the 6-5-12, and it is a great spot, but we don't need it. And if you look at Green's situation, in the sense that he has lost his ability to go to the 3-4, he's obviously going to be vying for these center spots. So I'd rather stay out of Green's way. 11-12 is perfectly fine as a potential third or second settle. Though we are going to have to get this 10 rolling to get us to settle on the 3-1. Now as red, probably going to put it on the 6. It seems like a pretty good block. Though I'm pretty impressed orange has got the 8-4, so the 4 could be, wow. I think better is the 4 sheep, which also hits me. Oh, okay. Now we have rolls for a city. That would be massive for us. At home, I want you to be thinking about where does the city go? We have 2 really good spots. Is there any way that we could potentially get a brick here? Now we also might be able to get a brick through trading the ore. No, we'll take that. That's actually much better. So we get the trade there with green. We'll take our settle. Perfect. So now we are a city roll with the 11 or the 9. Again, we do still have to answer that question, where does the city go? I think a lot of players would be very keen to put it on the 5, 9, 10. And I like that. It's a great spot. We do double the brick. But I think ultimately our aim here is to buy development cards, which is kind of where we're putting our flag down by taking army. So I really, really like the 6, 4, 11 here. It's going to give us a spot that is inherently ore, wheat, sheep. It doubles our sheep production here. Okay, so no dice on the city. One of the biggest concepts when you start to get a little bit more advanced is something we call city quality, which is when you drop a city, how good is all the hexes that are involved with that city? And one thing is we actually have really good city quality on both spots, where the 6, 4, 11 acts as support for development cards or wheat sheep. Then the 5, 9, 10 also gives us quite a bit to work with the road building. So ultimately our city quality with both of these are very good. And kudos here to red, doing very well, but his luck's going to dry up pretty quickly when we block the 8 and steal from him. But I like the way he's playing this so far. He's picked up both the 4 and the 10, so he's got very good wood and brick. So we kind of have to try to make sure that he doesn't get onto the 8 here. And hopefully we can roll that 9 to get the city. Okay, so he buys a dev. Nicely done, red. Oof. 8 hits the board. I do think here green is in a lot of trouble. Though they might get the 4, 5, 11, which does give them a little bit of a road play. They don't really have a clear path in this game. Oh. Orange is porting for city materials. We'll have to do something about that very quickly. AK, we will steal from orange here. Did not get it. Did not get it. Oof. Red's doing so well that now he gets a 7 out. Hopefully, I mean, he might steal from us. But he has shown a propensity to block orange here. So we'll see. I do actually think the 9's a better steal or a better block. I really want to say thank you for everyone who's come out supporting the channel. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep doing amazing things. Man, it's like red has heard me. He should be conscious that orange is very close to a city, which is what he's trying to accomplish with that trade. And he's popping as well. Big mistake there. I think orange needs to be actually buying a city, taking advantage of the 2-for-1 port. Very good block, though. I have to give credit there. That was a very good block. We're going to actually go for this spot now. I think we're going to probably get it. I have to say, that's a very rare play to see players in unranked games making blocks like this. So though I don't like it, on some level, I respect it for sure. A lot of players, I think, do not understand how powerful ore is. Hoo, hoo, hoo. So now Red's in a world of pain. The Woodport would have been pretty nice for him, but he certainly lost that opportunity. So hopefully we can get a 7 here. Okay. I think with the fact that Orange now has a road play, has the city, I think you've got to change your sights a little bit. Yeah. We're still doing very well. And probably the biggest thing for us is that we have great production, but we also have 2 knights played. So ultimately, if we can pull one more development card, there's a very good chance that we will take army. Okay. I'm not really a big fan of what Red just did here. He's really painting himself as a massive target. And now our risk of going to the 6-5-12 is very much, it's looking very dire here because, well, Green has a lot of cards in hand. And we might just end up losing this spot. What can I say? I was very greedy in doing this. Oh, wow. Does Green not know how this game is played? I guess not. So, let's see if we can extract a brick. Okay. I am sorry, my friend, but this is the way the cookie crumbles. Okay. Now, I have to give Red credit. He's been an absolute 7 magician. And he's buying devs, he's taking road. We really need to get this 9 cooking. We've had a really tough time getting the ore, even though we do have quite a bit of ore between the 9 and 11. So, not great. Now the next question is where do we go with our road? I really like this idea of going to the brick port. It does offer some opportunities where, actually, let's see if we can buy a development card here. It does give us the ability to double the 10, making every 10 a free card. And I think we've got a pretty good chance not to ever lose the 11-12. So I'm going to go get the free card, and hopefully over the next orbit, we're going to either roll the 9 or the 11, or maybe even the 6 so that we can 3-for-1 for the city. So let's see what we get here. We haven't had a lot of good luck on these rolls. And knowing that Red's a very aggressive player, for some reason I feel like they might just play a knight here, but I guess we'll see. Yep. I think that's a very interesting aspect of playing Catan is you get familiar with certain players' behaviors, and it's almost like you can kind of predict what they're going to do before they even do it. And this comes from years of playing the game, playing thousands of games, rolling the dice hundreds of thousands of times. And it's really what separates good from great players is that ability to kind of consistently predict and predict. It's almost like you have this ability to see the future of the board. Here, feels like probably going to be an 8 block. 4 is okay as well. You could also put pressure on the 6, or maybe even hit something like the 10. The 5's an idea. We really have to hope we don't lose the ore. We did, wow. This is a little concerning. We're having a hard time here. I really feel like Red's also kind of in a great position. Okay, so he has 1 ore in his hand. Okay, here is Green. I think you've really got to start putting pressure on the 8. The 10's big. The 5's a problem. And this is an ore. Okay, so we need that 9. We've been really struggling to get the city up. Okay. And I think long term, what we're going to hope here is that, we really want green to be taking road. We take army, big block, big block here. That's not good because red needed that sheep there. So red is very close potentially. Oh. Okay, so we're going to buy a dev here. We can also, let's see if we can get a knight. Perfect. So that's 6 points for us. So we've really struggled with getting the ore, and we've also lost the ore to orange here. This is not good. Okay. So now, if we didn't have a knight and red can pull a knight, he goes to 9 points. Very strong. Very scary. Surprisingly, it's becoming a closer and closer game, but we've really struggled to get the city up, which is very unfortunate. Very surprising, actually. The 8s have been very strong this game. And I think the more I'm looking at this situation, I think red's going to lose steam here from the standpoint, okay, so he has an ore in his hand here. Very tough here. So we're going to leave a hand like this. I believe orange actually has 2 ore in his hand because he stole an ore, but then he ported for 2. So if we roll a 9, what we can actually do is steal the ore from orange to get the city. Yeah, because here's what's going to happen. Green is going to... Wow, we're really struggling here, aren't we? So he's got 2 brick and 2 ore. Is there any case where we can potentially get the settle on the brick port? Okay. No worries. No worries. I wonder if red's going to keep hitting us. I think he has to really look at players like orange here who just have a lot of flexibility. But he has been hitting me pretty viciously this game. Wow, okay. And I think for us, we have a pretty simple play here, which is to just keep hitting orange. Let these 2 fight road just like they are doing, and just make sure that this player really can't take off. Okay, so he has 2 brick and 2 ore in his hand. Luckily, he doesn't have an actionable steal here. Interesting, okay. Very likely, I think he took a potential sheep. Let's hope the 9 doesn't roll. I don't think we've got to enjoy our 9 quite yet. But I'm optimistic. Perfect. Now, because of the makeup of orange's hand, if we roll a 9, there's a pretty decent shot that we might be able to steal a card to get a city. Wow, these have been really unfortunate hands for us, haven't they? So let's do this. Let's port for an ore here. Let's see if we can roll the 9. We're really trying to get the city up and running. It's been a really big pain for us, hasn't it? Big 7 coming out here from orange. Though it feels like we're behind, truthfully, it's really not the case. We have 6 points in our hands, settle for 7, city for 8. And I think once we get our city down, we get a lot of utility. We get a lot of speed. And the points, I think, come pretty quickly. But we keep losing the ore to this guy's steals, unfortunately. Just like that, we keep losing the ore. Every time. Oh, man. This is brutal. Though we did port for 1 ore, so if we can get a 9, that's pretty great. But we will beat this guy up. Really frustrating that he keeps taking our ore, and there's so much ore in this board. And we're just going to have to hit him very hard here. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Perfect. So let's go get our big city here. Love to see it. Now, is there any way we know the wheat is on this board? The brick might have a little bit of value here. No worries. No worries. 6-5-11 is a massive opportunity for us here. Well, take a moment, DandyDrew. Relax. It's been kind of a wild, crazy game, but we've kind of brought it back. Let's see, does our boy have... He does not. He doesn't have a knight. He does have a knight. Surprising block. He steals the ore? Oh my god. That's the 4th time he's stolen my ore. What is this voodoo magic I'm dealing with here, DandyDrew? I mean, this dude's a magician. An absolute magician. This is not good. One of the big problems here is we don't have any VPs. So if he's at 7 points, we're really in a world of pain here. So it's not quite over yet. Oof, expensive. Big block though, really big block for him. Now we do have 8 points, settling 5, 9, 10 here. So I quite like. So let's see, can we do something like wood for wheat? I have to admit, orange is doing extremely well here. Oof, kind of scared. Yeah, I'll give it to red. Now I'm less scared. Okay, so we're going to keep this simple. We're going to go to 11, 12 here. Oof, big block. Big block by Mr. Orange. So I think we have a pretty clear plan. We're going to settle for 9. And then probably city for our final point. Though very unfortunate that the 6 is blocked. One of our big rolls. This is not good. So if orange is a very good player, something he could do is he could consider wrapping around for road. So if you connect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 roads. That's not good. Perfect. Unfortunately, I think we're going to get hit here. I'm just letting green know. Orange is trying to steal his road. A little bit of a heads up here. I have to put orange on 7 points. Just because, well, it's very likely he's probably pulled a VP. Nobody else has devs, but we've gone through at least half the dev deck. Red, I don't think... Nice block there, team. Now a 6 would be absolutely massive, and the fact that he's not playing a knight probably tells you he's got a few things in his back pocket. Now, something you'll learn as you get better at Catan is your ability to read situations. If you look at his last turn, he dropped 2 roads. But if he had a road builder, would he have done that? Probably not. Yop, maybe he's holding a Yop. But it's very likely this is kind of looking like either a VP or mono. Though very interesting, he is pausing. So that could be an indication that he's thinking about how he wants to use one of his devs. Not entirely sure quite yet what we're dealing with here, folks. But life's looking pretty good. I think if we can settle this turn for 9 points, we have a lot of ways that we can close this out. Now, another explanation is he could just be completely AFK and none of it really matters. So I guess we're going to have to see what we're going to be dealing with here in a second. Okay, let's go hit our boy orange here. We get a beautiful settle, and then at this point, 6 and 11's the win. We have a few ways that we can wrap this up. Let's see if we can get the rolls called a day. There's the 11. Now you know he's going to roll a 7 to steal an ore. There's the 9. This would be a great opportunity to mono. If he has it, he should. So we'll know pretty quickly if he has the mono or not. Nope, he doesn't. And then 6 wins. That doesn't win. Well, I think one advantage of this situation is that green's probably not going to block the 6. But it's not very easy. He can block the 4, which gives us the winning roll on the 6. Now, I think the one thing that we need to be conscious of is, ooh, well, that doesn't do it quite, Chief, because we have a winning roll right there. That's GG to DD. Boom. All right, folks. 31 minutes, 28 seconds, 79 turns. Je ne sais quoi coming in. Blue, you snitch. If only he knew. If only he knew. Let's go look at the stats here. Got some rolls hanging out, resources, activity. You can see we were pretty active on trading. This has always been a feature of my game. To stay in it, to trade, to look for opportunities, be part of the board. And it pays off. Now, in terms of production, surprisingly, we all rolled pretty equally. I definitely felt like everyone was doing pretty well in the rolls. There wasn't anyone that I felt was really too far or too far behind or too far ahead. So just an interesting game. I think we had a very good plan, was getting army, dropping cities, taking advantage of this amazing setup and production. And then here's the dice rolls. So I think as green, I think if he got the 6-5-12, it would have certainly hurt us a little bit and probably helped him as well, just in giving him a little bit more space to work with. Red probably needed to find a more clear path. You know, it seemed he had a foot in army, he had a foot in road, and this happens a lot. Sometimes you don't get either of them if you try to go for both. So I think that was a mistake from red. And for orange, doing very well. Like I said, it looked like orange had the VP. If he could take road, he does have a play to potentially 9 or win the game if he could sneak it. But, you know, I'm a snitch. I'm not going to allow that to happen around here. Anyways, folks, I really appreciate you coming out, sharing your good energy, your support, your love for the channel. If this is your first time being here, please don't forget to like, subscribe. We're going to keep growing this channel, having a good time. And again, I just appreciate that you're here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon. Dandy is out.